When Gilberta dropped, there was a lot of hype around her saying she could be one of the best support operators in the game. Now that I've had her for a while and I've been playing with her, there are a few things in her kit that kind of make me hesitate to give her that title. Or I should say put her in that class with the other operators who are up on that level. So before there's a rerun of her banner, or before you start investing in her, I want to make you aware of these two things. So first, let's go ahead and start talking about her description. She's Arc Susceptibility, Nature Infliction, and Lift. Her attributes, the main attribute is Will, and her second attribute is Intellect. And now let's look at her ability matrix. Her skill initiates Arc's channeling that creates a gravity well. The gravity well pulls in nearby enemies and deals nature damage to them. The nature damage, the nature infliction, all of that is very good, but that gravity well, I'm looking at that for crowd control. It works really well if you're just running like the energy trying to get essence for your weapons. I mean, that's really works on all of those enemies, but when you go to like in-game content, and I'm not expecting this to work on Nefereth or anyone of that strength, but some of the lower level enemies that you're fighting can just walk through this like it's not even there. And I think that's a real problem for her. I think it needs to be a little bit stronger with the enemies that they can pull in. As you can see, some of them are just walking right through it, and I don't think that they should be that strong to where they should walk through her skill this way. And look at her combo. Combo is triggered by Arc's reaction when it's applied to an enemy, and that's not really a problem, but it's the same thing where it applies lift to the target. It's not going to lift enemies, but on the lower level. And this is good because lift does apply vulnerability. So it's not really that bad that it doesn't actually lift all enemies up in the air, but the vulnerability is good, so I'm not too upset about the combo trigger. Now this is where I'm going to tell you I have a problem with her. Her ultimate has a lot of good things about it. So Gilberta applies Arc Susceptibility with her ultimate. It has a base Arc Susceptibility of 30%, and then you can get an increase of 3% per stack of vulnerability on the enemy. And you can get up to 4 stacks of vulnerability, so I'd add it together, that's going to be 42%. And that is the strongest Arc Susceptibility in the game. But the issue is that it only lasts for 5 seconds. And the thing is, if you're going to get her for this Arc Susceptibility, meaning you want that damage increase for your main DPS, make sure your main DPS has an ult that fits into this time slot. If you're, say like Last Right, her ult is perfect. It goes into this time slot and it uses the Arc Susceptibility, really helps it a lot. But look at someone like Yvonne, whose ult is just so much longer. You really have to kick off Yvonne's ult, and then you will have to use the ult of Gilberta like late, so that you can get the maximum amount of damage at the tail end for Yvonne. So this really kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to use. Not difficult as in impossible, but it makes it, I think, a little bit more where it should be about 10 seconds, so you don't have to worry about that. Once you get everything set up, I think it should be a little bit easier. And that's one of the other things, the second thing that actually makes me think that she's good, but not great. So that's something you want to keep in mind if you're thinking about going for when her banner reruns. So the best gear for Gilberta is going to be the external Zeronite. It has Will and Intellect, but the 3-piece set effect gives her a health point bonus of 1,000. But when she applies susceptibility, all teammates gain a bonus of 16% damage dealt for 15 seconds. And also you want to double up on the external Zeronite auxiliary arm for the ultimate gain efficiency. This really helps her out, and also has a Will and Intellect, of course, but the ultimate gain efficiency is really good for her. So the best weapon for Gilberta, of course, is Delivery Guaranteed. Her signature weapon, you're going to get a Will boost, ultimate gain efficiency. You got Pursuit, where she gets a bonus for nature damage dealt, and after she applies lift, the team gains arts damage dealt by 12%. And Also, the team gains bonus arts damage dealt of 3.5% up to a max of 10%. Second best weapon is going to be the Opus, the Etch figure. You're going to get a will boost, a nature damage boost, but it has suppression where you get an attack bonus of 19%. And when the wielder's battle skill applies nature infliction, other operators in the team gain arts damage dealt of 14% for 15 seconds. So this is a very close second, and if you can't get the signature weapon, this is very good. Alright, so what's the verdict? I would say pull if you're building a nature damage team. She does perform nature damage, applies nature infliction, so she would fit that team very well and help you out. I would also say pull if you have a main DPS whose ult applies arts damage and the ult fits into that 5-second window of her art susceptibility. She really can boost your damage up to 40+%. So I think that's really a good option for you. Now I would say skip if you're looking for crowd control. Even though a lot of people talk about her crowd control, it only works on the lower level content. And I'll be honest with you, that lower level content, if you just rank up a few good operators, you're going to be able to run through it without crowd control anyway. So I don't think that's really a good reason to pull for her. I would also say skip if you're building a physical team. Her art susceptibility does not apply to physical damage, so she wouldn't really help you out very much other than giving you some vulnerability stacks, which most physical teams need. But I don't think she's worth it because there are others who can just give you much more if you're building on physical damage. And lastly, I would say skip if your main DPS, the ult, does not fit into that 5-second window. I don't think the trouble and the difficulty that it is to get in that 5-second window when your ultimate is much longer, say for Yvonne, it's just not worth it. I don't think. I think you can still get a lot of great damage and your play can be a lot easier without her. So if you're not in that 5-second window, I think you might want to think twice if you want to build her up to join that team. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you think. Do you already have Gilberta? I know a lot of us do. But are you going to try to go for her again? Try to P5 her? Let me know what your thoughts are. All right. Thank you, guys. Hey, and have a good one. I'll see you on the next grind.